Hi, I'm Jennifer Lay, and I'm here this afternoon with Kimberly Davis and April Palmieri, two of Pulsallama's lead singers. And I just want to say, I guess I first saw you guys last fall at the Mud Club, and I didn't know what was going on. I really didn't. 12 girls up there screaming and shouting, and I've watched you over the last, 8 months, and watched you become one of, I think, the best bands out there right now. I want you to tell me more about what's happened with Pulsallama and how it started and how you've gotten to where you are and where you think it's going.
Well, I don't like to think about where it's going necessarily, because I think a lot of the, we basically started out having fun. That was like the premise, and that's what has kept us together, like the element of fun and not taking it so seriously that it's going to ultimately like undermine the success of the band. Because I think what appeals to people is the idea of having 10 girls up there in cocktail dresses doing jungle rhythms. You know, and obviously we have a very good rapport with each other on stage. And I think that to like be real things are getting real weird because we're getting like really good jobs and record and publicity and tours.
The
and
record's coming out when?
July 8th probably, with our, the first week of July, I think. And so to like say where's it going, I mean, it's like that kind of speculation I think is dangerous.
Well, we started doing parties as a ladies' auxiliary of the Lower East Side at Club 57 for about a year, so we've known each other a while before we started the band, and we started the band for one of the parties that we do. And we got offered jobs to keep doing it.
Right, because we were pretty well connected.
Yes.
By the time like we formed Pulsallama, we'd already formed relationships with people who were in the position to book us and on friendly terms with them. Mm-hmm. So we sort of had our foot in the door already before we even knew. I mean, it was just a joke, essentially. It was like another show, another party.
But it's not really a joke anymore. I mean, there has to come a time, I'm sure, where something that starts off as fun then turns into work. You have not just, I know you guys, and I know that it hasn't been all fun and games. I mean, there's a lot of work to keeping 10 people organized and together, and
I don't talk about any of that. Work at that. I don't know. I think it's recently we have Y Records working with us, like Dick Odell and Laura, who was here earlier, and that's really been helpful to us. It sort of unites us a little bit more because
we don't have a manager. We don't have someone who's neutral.
You were going to get a manager for a while, though, weren't you?
We asked people, and they said we'd better off without one, since we are well connected. Each one of us works pretty hard.
I think we're going to have to investigate that, as time goes on. I just, I would like to not take it so seriously because we are developing as musicians, and our act is becoming more slick, and everything is becoming more professional. Of course, because we've been working at it, but it still has to maintain that level of spontaneity and fun. Or else
keep talking.
Trouble.
I'm kidding.
Because if you start taking it so seriously, then like lately, for instance, certain people's egos get out of control, and it's very dangerous.
I think it's got to be hard, though, not to do that. I mean, here we have a promo coming up of you guys at Danceteria, which is one of the big clubs in New York City.
Thanks to Jim Farrat, we wouldn't be where we are if it wasn't for Jimmy Farrat. He's the best.
He's been really helping us a lot.
Okay, we're going to the promo.
Yay, Jim.
Yeah, thanks.
Hi, we're back with Pulsallama, and the promo tape that you just saw was at Danceteria, and we were talking about Jim a little bit. I think Jimmy's done a lot for the music scene. I think there's no way to really...
Yeah, he's been really fair to showing New York bands. Really fair.
Well, not only that, he's very eclectic in his tastes, and he's probably the best and most creative booking agent that New York has seen. And I think that the problems that he's having is because he overextends himself because he is such a hard worker and can't,
Well, it's hard to know when to quit. I know that you guys have that problem too. You start going with one project, and pretty soon all these little avenues start opening up.
Well, we didn't think Pulsallama was really going to be such a full-time thing. We've all got other things to do. And yeah, it's becoming more and more of like a commitment, you know, and it's frightening, you know, but we should, my philosophy is that, you know, we should enjoy it as much as we can, get some free trips to Europe, you know.
Yes,
for
we're
the
really
little
looking
boys.
forward.
Aren't you guys going to
Traveling.
England?
Yeah.
The end of the
Wow.
It's true. It's true. In fact, the tape that we made for the record has been played in England, and Dick Odell said that there's music like ours, like jungle-type music out there in England, but we have a sense of humor. We're funny about it. It is funny music. I mean, we're just like girls from the suburbs, basically. And here we are going, like, pounding away and running around, and take our costumes very seriously, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, I think that's kind of across the board in the art music world right now. There's a real turning away from things that are so serious.
Thank
You know,
God.
towards things that are a lot more fun. I mean,
57, where we all came out of, was sort of, you know, had a great sense of humor.
It's like Little Rascals. You know, it's like just constantly, let's put
Real
on a
devilish.
show, and let's.
Yeah.
It's in the basement of a church, and the things we've done there.
well, also the lack of pretension, you know, I think is
Get up there and do anything.
not pretension.
It's been a really great experience working at
So what's the
club.
gossip? You know, I mean, I want to
About who?
About
our
any
love
of you.
lives?
What's good? Yeah. What do you have male
Well, they
groupies?
picked up.
Do you?
Our love lives have picked up, definitely.
It's true.
Because Club 57
Well, how do you
are
feel
facts.
about that? Do you feel like people just like you because you're now a star?
I don't
or
care.
You don't care. Really, just give me more men.
We deserve it. I think so.
Yeah, it's funny. You know, of course, you know, you do, like, sometimes I get, like, weird guys just, like, staring at you and stuff, but, you know, it enables you to be more, you know, receptive to a broader spectrum of people. You know what I mean, Jennifer?
Yeah, I know what you mean, Kimberly.
Yeah. We've gotten enough publicity that people are taking us really seriously. Like I told people last summer, oh, I'm in a band in New York, and they said, oh, yeah, sure. But now all these pictures are coming up in all the publications, and people are calling me for interviews now. Like,
They
from
are?
out of state.
Wow.
Are they calling you,
They're not
Kimberly?
calling me.
You must not have been
But
home.
it's
You have to get an answering machine,
Yes,
you know, to
it's
deal with this new
important.
volume of phone calls.
I don't know, you know, it's not only our music, because we don't profess to be the greatest musicians in the world, but we have
You've come a
improved.
long way.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
sure.
what I meant. When I saw the first show, you weren't
But
really
it's also
even...
a performance, and it's also,
It's very visual.
you know, pretty girls up there.
Yeah,
You know
you
what I
are
mean?
very pretty girls, and I think we've had a nice talk.
Oh, that's
And
it.
thanks for coming
Thank
in.
you. It's been a pleasure.
5 minutes, 5 seconds.